Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk, man. This is episode 314. Shout out to everybody who's been a part of this. Been following, paying attention, watching, shooting feedback, supporting, etc. Definitely shout out to all of y'all. Everybody who's been, riding since whenever you got on the bike. New, old, intermediate. Definitely shout out to you. Shout out to my replay gang as well. Shout out to my Evolve members as well. Everybody connected to the Patreon, everybody who has a membership, definitely appreciate you guys for taking the steps to move forward and have the life that you always ask for, and be willing to move through the things that are your personal barriers. So shout out to all of you guys. If you are interested in membership, definitely check the link below, pinned, and the link in my bio. A lot of cool stuff. I'm doing a lot of creative things there, as well as one-on-one coaching and things like that. So if any of what I've been saying on these lives resonates and there's some things you want to change, whether it be mental health, whether it be life purpose, physical health, or relationships, either shoot me a DM or check the website out. Find what resonates with you and get in tune with it. So look here. Tonight, first of all, let me see who's in the building. Miss Boyd, what's going on? Good to see you. And Nene, what's up? Nancy, what's up? Brandon, what's up? Tara, what's up? Tay, what's up? What's going on? Janae, Cuz in the building. Melissa, how you doing? Man, oh yeah, hoodies on the website too. So check the website out. You want to get your hoodie? You know what I mean? You already know what it means. Actions speak louder. You dig? Dawn, what's up? What's up? Yeah. So we and I just finished it. So I don't know how long it's been since y'all saw this movie or whatever, or at what point, what the time frame is. I'm fresh off. So it's like boom, credits, boom, I'm in there. So Trina, what's up? So we gonna get right to it, man. Hope y'all are, comfortable and all that. Hopefully y'all in a good space, good comfortable space, good reliable chair, some good wine, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm a romantic by heart, so I love movies like this. You know what I'm saying? I definitely love to watch, but also analyze, but also, be a part of the simulation, right? Because you may, as a lot of you may have seen parts of you in there. You may have simulated in a sense where it may have never happened to you, but you may have felt somebody's pain or felt somebody's points that they were making, or had experiences similar but not exact. And so that's what a good movie will do to you. It'll put you in the zone whether you experienced it or not. I'll just from an just from an overall perspective, the movie was well done, man. Like it was really well done. And always great to see black producers. It's kind of like a trend right now. Like Sylvie's Love, I think was the actors were the producers. So it's always great to see, what I'm saying, our people get out there and do it. You know what I mean? So that was a great thing. Little baby Denzel. I thought he was gonna say King Kong ain't got I thought he was gonna go in. Yeah, I don't know about the signs, Dawn. We not, I see Leo and what you're saying, and I hope it's not. I hope you don't start going into, no nefarious narratives on Leo culture. I'm not that I represent all Leos, but I'm a Leo, so we ain't about to do that tonight. That ain't where we going. But so it's funny too, because I saw TVD. What's up? I saw Tenet with my dad when I was over his house. You know what I'm saying? And that was a great movie too. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to tell him, I was like, look, you can hear the Denzel in his voice at certain points, certain octaves and things like that. You can hear Denzel in it. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and start now. This is where let's start here. What are y'all favorite lines of the film? What are y'all favorite lines of the film? Here's my favorite line. Damn, why you didn't do that in the audition? That's the line of the movie for me. That's the line of the movie for me. And it may switch on the rewatch. There was a lot of great lines and great pivotal quotes in there, for sure. But any favorite lines stand out to you or anything like that? And if I see them, I'll call them out when I see them. First thing I want to get into is I want to color this. Janae said, "Why he ain't thank her though?" He did at the end. Listen, we gonna get to that. There was a lot of twists and turns, with how this film went. And Nancy said my shit was when she called it mediocre, right? And when he crept back on the window and was like, "What you mean by mediocre?" Like when he crept up like that, I was like, "Wow." It was definitely amazing, Shauna. I agree. Yeah. I got Kanye vibes from him. I don't know if y'all caught that or not, if y'all saw that or not, but I got a lot of Kanye vibes from dude in certain scenes. And Erica, what's up? Got some Kanye vibes. Tay says the knife scene was everything. Yeah, she got the Academy Award for that, 100%. But yeah, I definitely got Kanye vibes from just the rant, the ego aspect. You know what I'm saying? That everybody doesn't understand me. All of that kind of stuff. So we gonna go right in. So, Sean, you gotta shade. Get out of here. So, authenticity for that ass. Okay. Yeah, we gonna get to that too, cause I wrote that. I got little notes here. I got like 2 pages worth of notes. Like this was. I felt like I was doing a project. But so let's do this. As you know, my non-negotiables. Y'all know my non-negotiables, right? You know what I look for in a woman, and my main 3 as far as my standards. So before we even get anywhere else, you know what my 3 main ones are. And I always say the self-awareness, the accountability, and an inherent desire to evolve, right? And I found that there were moments where the inability to master these showed up in that relationship, and definitely looked like it was supposed to look. Like it looked like they were failing in all of those elements. And that was important for me because I always like to test my definitely codependency. I always like to test my theories and test the things that I stand on to see in other spaces or in relationships. How does that manifest? How does that show up? And does it prove that although there's enmeshment, although there's codependency, right? does that mean that that's still something healthy? And it's not. It's very cyclical. It was very cyclical, right? And there was the back and forth nature of it. It was like they were weaving in and out of these different emotional states. They went from the points where they were connecting, and this is what I liked, right? Because there was arcs, there was ups and downs. On the ups, I admired the element of sharing in passion, right? He's a director or and everything, and then she although not at the time, she's an actress. So in that sense, those two connect. So their passions are intertwined. Now that, if there's extreme personalities, that can be bad, but in essence, I always like to see that manifested. I always think that's a pretty good thing to have. And so second, when it comes down to it, you really want to look at the downs, right? So you had, the black and white was awesome too. So you have the ups and then you have the downs. The downs were very, very devastating and carried a lot of animosity. It seemed like a bottomless pit of anger and hostility and things like that. So whenever there was it was so seamless. It was like they're complimenting each other, they're laughing, they're rocking, and then they're at a point where there's back and forth, there's disagreements, but their disagreements carried such a vicious nature to it, right? They had to degrade each other, they had to destroy each other, right? It wasn't just a back and forth disagreement. It almost had to include insults. It had to include degrading one's abilities. It had to include, and also too, the mental health insults. At least from his point, he was slinging a lot of those, and then she was coming at the career. So they both knew each other's weak points. And they made a point to push those very buttons, even if they didn't really feel like that, right? Because then later on, when they're on the upswing, they'll say, well, I was just angry, I was just mad, it wasn't something that I meant to say, but it was straight torture, right? And a couple things, Latasia, what's up? Couple things that I noticed. There is, okay, for her, there is, I found some symbolism in there, and I don't know if y'all really caught this, right? So the symbolism, I want y'all, for those of you who watched it, I want y'all to really pay attention to this. Symbolism that I saw was a oral focus between them. There was an oral focus, right? Here's what I mean. Number one, the first part of that focus is the focus on communication. The whole thing was communicate. Now, healthy? No, but communication. So verbal communication back and forth the entire movie. There was a distinct focus on that. Then, if you notice, she smokes, he smokes. Toxicity, oral toxicity. The way that they communicate, it's an oral toxicity, right? They're spitting toxins. They're spitting out toxins at each other verbally. And then smoking is inhaling toxins orally and then blowing it out. Inhaling toxins, blowing it out, right? Even in her history, she took pills. That's an oral situation. Even this sexual element, you never saw them have sex. You saw them giving each other oral, or at least maneuvering around it. So the foreplay was even orally based. If you watch it, if you key it in, right? So it just goes to show that is a key or crucial element when it comes to how they operate in the world. They use their, just the orifice, and they use their mouth to ingest toxins and to spit out toxins, and sometimes to make up, right? That's why you saw that there was an element of mastery. It was almost an element of mastery at how they insulted each other. So it was incredible. I ain't got all that. I'd have been like, hey man, I'm going to sleep. They spent like 42 hours straight. Non-stop. Just going at it. Back and forth. That's a major thing that I saw. Let's see what I appreciate it, Sean. You know I'm in the gang. You know it's my gang. But so another thing I noticed was that the compartmentalization aspect, right? And the way that they communicated with each other, there was an intellectualization that was happening. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of big words, a lot of logical deconstruction of each other. And it was externally based, right? And I noticed that, think about people, right? Like how do you distance? He seemed like he was the type to distance himself by virtue of compartmentalization. So she called him out on that before. She called him out on compartmentalizing and, situations and things like that, and having, just separate, everything being separate. So he distances things internally, work and her and this and that, and in different boxes. So that's how he copes. She copes in an external viewpoint. So here's what I mean by that. Just watch physically. They get into something, he stays in the house. He stays on the property. Far as he'll go is a patio. They argue, clash, or whatever happens, go to the bathroom, whatever. He stays on the property. She disappears. She goes out. External, right? Remember I told y'all the house is the mind, the representation. So he's staying there, she's out. She left the first time. When she came around that tree, I thought she was gonna hang herself or something like that, but when he couldn't find her the first damn time. So again, external versus internal. He compartmentalizes inside of his head. She does it by leaving, disappearing. So that's just physical. Next way that she externalizes is she channels into drugs. She was the type of person where, I guess addictive personality. Her trauma, she tried to externalize or tried to get external highs, right? Even the relationship, him, a patch, a high. Drugs, I need a high from this, right? And you could tell that he was a part of her high because I want y'all to key into this. When there was a point of many where they were laughing, joking together, they were about to have sex, it was getting passionate. He said, I gotta go pee. He left. He says, think happy thoughts, stay in the moment, right? He leaves to go to the bathroom, just number one. He just had to, just in and out. They kept the camera on her, and she was looking, you could watch her expression change in sync, right? That's the high wearing off. So as long as they're in here, it's good. But then when there's a little bit of distance, the high wears off. And then you notice the second that he came back, she had a whole nother question to ask him based on, whatever thoughts conjured up in that less than 30 seconds. You see what I'm saying? So just the symbolism I was catching, just, when you really look at it, it's like, what does a partner represent to you? What do you need a partner for personally? What's that partner there to solve for you or represent for you? And she was, and he represented her high and her low. Let's look at both, right? Now let's look at the dichotomy of a drug. A drug gets you high, and then it's your detriment as well. It's your high and it's your demise, right? Because of the side effects and the toxicity and things like that. Addiction. Now, with him, he could get her high and he could get her at her lowest based on how he acted, what he said, or what he didn't say. Now let's get to the thank you part. Thank you. And I was really looking for, because they led with this. I love how they, the full circle element, I love that part. I was really looking for why is this a thing, right? It's because, and this is similar to like acrimony too. I like when the beginning you kind of just thrown in. I appreciate you guys, thank you. I like when you get thrown into something and then you like, damn, well, is she got a point or is she off? So the whole movie was this was the first time I felt like there was no agenda, because we got to think about Hollywood and things like that. There's so many male bashing movies out here, bruh. Lifetime is notorious for that. They'll just what's up, Jalicia? They'll just implement situations that ain't even happen just to have the dude look like some kind of Ike Turner character and stuff like that. So a lot of these times, Dolores, what's up? A lot of the times these movies have agendas, and I watch for that as well. This movie was one of the first ones where I could see the back and forth. You don't know who to root for. I want y'all to notice that. Like, you don't know who to root for at certain points, because not just talking about the unhealthy parts, but I mean like, okay, damn, he got a point, and she got a point, and so it was one of them Venus and Serena, like the tennis match head. I'm at the screen like both of them they doing this, like because again, when it comes down to arguing and exchanging, we don't know them, but they give us them throughout the process. So it was hitting. I said, oh, I like that. Damn, I like that. And as a quote generator myself, I always like to hear nice wordplay or nice. She took the damn cake though. Let's keep it a break. Like at the end, the thank you, the last scene, not the last scene, but the last kind of speaking scene with the thank you part. Tell me that wasn't fire. I ain't even gone, y'all, man. Damn, that was heavy. But they gave a lot of spaces for identification with this film, and this is my shout out to the people who, the writers and producers behind it. The key to a good movie is, can people see themselves somewhere in there? And they gave us a lot of points to simulate and to reminisce and be at points where, like, because so one of the topics or elements that came up was fear of failure. The fear of failure. So the whole element of, well, he was like, man, I gave you a chance. I told you to audition. It could have been you, but you were not taking it serious. And then that coupled with, her previous failures and, you know, the addiction thing and all of that stuff. It painted a picture as though, you know, almost that push and pull, right? So it's like part of you wants to do it, but then part of you wants to externalize a reason why it won't work. So put together a mentality that, okay, he don't want me to do it. It's his film. He don't really want to do it. He's just saying it. He don't really want to do it. So that's my excuse. Not that I quit, but that he, you know, he didn't want me to be in it. But then now coming up saying, yeah, I was ready, but then I wasn't ready. I gave up acting, but I want to act in it. I should have been in it. I ain't want it. I wanted it, right? What does that I just did look like? It looks like their relationship in its totality. The push and pull in the relationship. The back and forth. The entire movie was the back and forth. I love you, I want to be with you, I'm so turned on. I hate you, I hate your guts, you're a mental patient, you're insane, you're disturbed. Back and forth, back and forth. Back and forth. and they literally use their mouthpiece and their expression, their verbal expression, to cause every arc, every up, every down. And it never stopped. And we only saw one night. We only saw one night of it. And I was like, There was highs though. There was ups. And I like the ups part. Let's talk about how I thought she was gonna cut something. You wanna talk about that? How she just pulled that Michael Myers Ginsu Deluxe you know, what kind of steak? That would have to be a Brontosaurus burger for you to need that type of knife. And then she hit the end scene with it. I said, I ain't expect that. I didn't expect that. And he was like, damn, why you ain't do that in the audition? That was fire. Like when he said that. Cause she had your boy stuttering too. She had him stuttering and all that. Like I ain't got no pills. Damn, what happened? Oh man, that was heavy. He definitely should have casted her. And then he was saying like, you just did this to get me to feel like my movie could have been better. You know, but you saw how he was attracted to the zigzag anyway. He even said it. You know, he even said that. You know what I'm saying? So. In a lot of ways, parts of, you know, sparks of the relationship were dope. Some of the elements are what I look for. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to the sharing and the interconnectedness of, you know, the passion, right? When he was on his rant and she was like, you know, cracking up, or when they were both kind of joking together. You know, both kind of joking together, even during the sexual part, when they were kind of like doing foreplay and they were still joking. I'll be doing that type of shit. I got, and it gave me flashbacks then from times. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick joke, right? Don't tell nobody. So, quick story time, right? All right, so I ain't gonna give it a time frame because that's I ain't gonna do that. But you know, in my part, this is years ago. It's an ex of mine, right? So, you know, that was one of the good parts of the relationship. Joking, we joke a lot. You know what I'm saying? Sex was great. The joking was great too. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, roast each other, whatever. So, I'll never forget this shit. So I was like, so I went, we was joking or whatever. And then, so I went to go down, you know what I mean? I went to go down on her or whatever. And she had said something. I guess I laughed, but as I was laughing, I sneezed and she was ready. So she's out here, right? So you know, she, what's up, Carolyn? Um, so I went down there and I sneezed, and then she was like, "All right, what we not gonna do?" And just the way she said that, it just had me dead. Like I was just dying, right? And then so we ended up, we ended up progressing, right? Intercourse, and she kept bringing it up. I kept laughing, and when I'm inside, right? So I'm inside and I'm laughing, but when I laugh, when you laugh outside, it's, whatever. But when you inside of a person and you're laughing, I could feel the vibration. Like, so I was like vibrating her by being, and because I kept cracking up and she kept making me laugh, and I was like, yo, I'm about to stop if we go, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to focus, and then, oh, what's up, Latasha? And then so we in here like it's like a damn pinball machine, like, you know what I mean? Like, just all this, it's a little too much action, like, you feel me? So it was a little bit different at that point. But I was like, man, it was too much joking. It was too much joking, you know what I mean? But that's what I like, though. Like, when you can intermix, because again, it's just the natural high of things, right? We can talk to each other, deep conversations, and then leave that high and then go into passion stuff, and then leave that high and become passionate with one another, and then leave that high and be joking and things like that. Latasha, no, that was a real story time with me personally. That ain't had nothing. But I was coming from the movie and reminiscing on certain things in my personal life. So you gotta check the replay. Yeah. So, but I enjoy that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody, like, when I have a girl, I'm like, look, like, we watch something. How you feel about this part? How you feel about that part? And that back and forth, that conversation, that interaction, that valuing each other's opinion on certain things, and allowing for the input, and just enjoying each other's perspective and point of view, and intelligence and things like that. Like when it's an exchange, and you can exchange on certain levels, whichever way you go, that person can follow with you, and y'all can have a conversation that is worthy of consistent replay. Like, you damn near wish you would have taped it. You see what I'm saying? So in essence, that was giving me vibes of times where I've experienced that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And definitely when they were laughing together, when they was about to, go down on each other, that was like, man, I've been there. And I'm the type sometimes where if something's funny but it's not necessarily the time to be laughing about it, so I have to mentally stop myself from laughing at something, I'm not gonna be able to stop myself from laughing at it. Like the more I focus on not laughing at it, the more it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And so, I know she was she got a different kind of vibration that night. It was different. It was different. You know what I'm saying? It make it stronger. So, but yeah, just, and I couldn't help that. You know what I mean? So, whatever. But so when it comes down to that, those are the exchanges. Chris, what's up? Good to see you. Those are the exchanges that I look for, right? When that element was present, and I was able to see that touched the nerve, that brought me right back. So those are the elements. Now watch this. When you say, right? Yeah, y'all heard me. When you see that happening, those are the arcs. Now, mind you, like I said, it's more than likely you saw yourself, right? In this type of relationship, more than likely. So when you are in a situation where you see yourself in a similar, like you've been in a similar relationship before, those heights that I just mentioned are likely the ones that kept you in it longer. Those heights are likely the ones that kept you in a relationship longer than you should have been. I don't know. But those are the ones. Because if it was all arguments, you'd have been left, most likely. I mean, this is an extreme couple and things like that. But if it had not been for those highs in the emotional roller coaster of the relationship, you would have probably left. So if we're actually thinking about it, those are in our mentality, if we've been in a lot of situations, it becomes a give and take. It becomes situations where you feel like when you get now let's look at the mentality in a relationship like that. When there's a high, I have to pay for it. When there's a high where we're laughing, we're joking, we're interacting, we're having sex, right? And it goes up, don't do that. But when it goes up, and then you in the back of your mind know that you're gonna have to pay for that. It's almost like earning the highs, right? Because everybody tells you the narrative becomes, the relationships are up and down. So when you have tragic downs, you look for the highs, and when you're up high, you're gonna have to earn it, or you're gonna have to pay for it by when things go back down. And a lot of times in both cases, you were able to see the sabotaging, right? The knowing each other's weaknesses, the downhill effect. And it was mostly on her part because of the fact that, again, the sabotaging was part of her nature as far as the unlovable. What I pulled from it, if I were to look for her core belief, right, it would be unlovable for me. She acted in a lot of ways being unlovable. That's not to say that he shouldn't have thanked her, because based on everything that she put out there as far as her role in the relationship, especially down to her becoming a major piece or backdrop to the film that he got so much acclaim for. It's not to say that at all, but that would be the thing that she carries the most. Because again, if your core belief is that you're unlovable, you have to prove it true. You have to prove it true. So you get down to your worst, drugs, almost passing out, killing it, almost taking yourself out of here. You have to get to your worst so that you prove true that nobody will ever love you in that condition. But when somebody does, until you become healed, right? Part of your mission is to prove that theory true with this person. You ever notice why people say stuff like, don't nobody hurt like family, or like when family be the ones that, mess you up the worst, or whatever the case is? Because of the love connection. The people closest are the ones that, in a lot of cases hurt you if they don't love themselves enough, or they consider themselves unlovable from a mental level, from a mental and emotional space. So in essence, she was searching to prove that she was right. You see, I'm unlovable because, look, he left, trying to do anything to make him leave. But he never left. He came through at her worst and things like that. And another thing this film did was uncover, or at least put us in a space to feel like they uncovered the true intentions behind things, right? And I like that part because I made a point in some lives ago just about, the, what do you call it? Like the people pleaser, right? And I decoded that. because on paper, you know, the rescuer and the people pleaser, you know, the narrative is that these types are just want to help genuinely. But the imbalance comes into play when you realize that some of the real intention is to avoid abandonment, or to enhance their self-esteem by virtue of giving love, right, in a conditional format. So it's almost, you know, transactional type of thing, because they receive something too when they do all of this stuff. That's why a lot of times the verbal desire is for reciprocation, but you're intentionally choosing people who you know won't reciprocate. And the people who do reciprocate don't resonate with you, and they don't fall into your attractive sphere, right? So you don't choose the people that do that. You choose the people in the worst conditions, so that you could have that already built-in hierarchy of over-providing and over-sacrificing, because that's your compulsion now. So the reason I'm saying that is, in the movie, the thought was like, okay, he helped, right? His narrative was, I helped you at your worst. You were damn near dying. I brought you to the hospital. I cleaned you up. I got you rehab, right? I took you at your worst. That was his narrative. She tried to uncover it or dissect it by saying, okay, you say that's your intention. You just did it so you could make a movie or have a muse, or, you know, for the ego purposes, right? Now, who's wrong and who's right? That's the beauty of a movie like this, because you decide. It could be all of them. And that's the human experience. We're not all good. We're not out here making decisions solely for the good of other people. Like I told y'all before, sometimes we do stuff just to complain about it. We do things for the sole purpose of telling somebody else what you had to do or what you just did. You get into these reckless relationships just so you can have something to tell somebody else about. You stay in some messed up relationships and fight for something you know is dead just so you can go tell your homegirl, I did everything for him, instead of just leaving. So it happens. This is the human experience. It's no judgment. It's the human experience. Sometimes we do, just like with him, if you look at him, like he ain't do stuff for fame or for clout or for attention or for accolades. That rant he did was 15 minutes. He beat himself up. He went outside and beat his own ass with a rant. He came back and forth so many times. I reminisce on when I was 10 years old, and you know, my mom telling me, don't run in and out of the house. That's how much he was back and forth to that window. Back and forth. And another thing, the article was he was back and forth and ranting for like a straight 20. You don't do that if your ego's not connected to something. But that's the complexity of it. Camille, what's up? What's up, cuz? That's the complexity of the human experience. That's why it should never be an absolute. Nobody does anything absolute just for solely 100% of someone else's benefit, and you're not getting any benefit out of it, right? And we should examine that, because that's the general complexity of the whole thing. Exactly, Erica. The music was top level, and I respected the choice of, like, it seemed like they chose like one group for the whole soundtrack. I enjoy when it's cohesive in that fashion. And they kept the budget small too. I'm looking for this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, y'all, classic. Black and white too. Classic. Score was crazy. You know, the shooting and you know, the dialogue, again, the back and forth. But it just really speaks to the cyclical nature of things, and how on our own we have the power to shift momentum and to make changes if we have fear-based thinking, if we have negative-based thinking, and we are trying to control momentum. But it shows when you're in a relationship, you don't control the momentum like that, because there's other momentum now. So again, things can go from passionate, sensual, connected, intimate, into argumentative, destructive by maybe one question. All one person got to do is ask a question, and that glides right into an argument, a back and forth, abusive, destructive words, and intentional. And you know what it was? It was interesting because it was almost like Mr. and Mrs. Smith to a degree, with just no weapons, only verbal weapons, right? There was points, and this is how insane the levels are. I don't know how y'all argue in real life. I don't know what your arguing style is, or how far you're willing to go to prove a point. But they was doing this type of shit. So they would like have an argument back and forth in the same room. Somebody go take a bath. Dude to go out over here, smoke, catch a point. Damn, I forgot to. And then run right in there and go sit down right next to the bath and just unleash on you. Everything I forgot to say, I'm gonna just unleash it on you. Now, I've never lived with my lady before, or an ex before, or I've never lived with a woman, like, you know what I'm saying? So what's up, Tony? So I wouldn't know what. Is that how people argue when they live together? Is that how it goes down? Like they go, you go room to, like, just nonstop, room to room all night. Y'all just hide and seek. Okay, you in the closet. Listen, let me tell you about how effed up you are. Check it out. Sit down. Grab a seat. Let me run it down. Because nobody has really anywhere to go, I guess. And they were so far from everything too. Some of the parts he went outside. And beat himself up in the sand, in the dust, the Grand Canyon, beat his own ass, came back tired, and just had more left. And here's a random thing. Too many shots of her on the toilet. Anyway, back to it. But when it comes down to it, like the tit for tat was at a maximum level. It was at an almost unachievable level, like, and how it seemed to transition into passion talk. When it comes to the directing, the industry talk, right? And then that would slide into sexual connection. And then that would slide into disagreement, and then that would slide into disrespect. And the transitions were so seamless that this is their way of life, and it's incredibly exhausting. I heard the word exhausting like 3 to 5 times in there, just from dialogue. So it's an exhausting process. And there's a lot of deep-seated hurts there. There's a lot of expectations for each other to fix, but they're the fixers and the breakers. They're not actually fixers at all. I think they were more so the trigger and the antidote, I guess you can say. And they were serving it to each other back and forth. So it's like one scene they're injecting the disease in each other. The next scene they got the antidote, and then they just back and forth, just sharing injections. man, it was OD. And I was exhausted mentally because I'm good at arguing, but I'm not an arguing person. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Like, and it's not a cool thing. So you can understand there was a level of comfort with the arguments, right? Because it wasn't a lot. See, you gotta look between the lines, right? There wasn't a lot of short bursts of arguments and then somebody saying F this, I'm out. Did you notice that? Because that happens in real life where you argue a little bit and you get tense and you get out of character and you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go somewhere, right? Now they went separate ways, but it didn't. At different points. But I'm strictly talking about the comfort level of the exchange, the back and forth, right? Now, why is that so comfortable? Let's think about this. Malcolm and Marie going at it, right? And how much they had to say. They were unleashing. These were long responses. These are long responses, and they were full of insults, of just destructive wording and verbal abuse and all kind of stuff. Full of that. And you could see, like, for a long time, the other person just kind of sitting there and they're going at it. Why is that so familiar? My question is, who are you arguing? Who are you talking to? That's what I want to say. When we're talking about relationship symbolism, it wasn't Malcolm talking to Marie, Marie talking to him. No. They are not talking to each other. Really. They're talking to themselves. They're talking to themselves, and the level of comfort in negative self-talk is an incredible issue to begin with. And that's the stem, because if you talk to yourself positively, you don't have that pent-up lava and magma to spit on nobody. Where would it come from? If you're a positive, peaceful-minded, confident, high self-esteem, positive expecting individual, where would all of that come from? That's not what's dominant. That's not what's rotating inside of you. Right? So where would it come from? You can't, and this is why it's so easy for these two types to consistently clash, because they are both looking to unleash on each other. This is the self-talk that happens at a high level. And for him, it's probably him being incapable, right? Career-wise, capability, not able to be compared with the best. And that's where his insecurities are. Probably some narcissistic thinking a little bit in there. So that's his issue. And then with her, like I told you, just the unlovable aspect of it, not feeling like, she's really worth anything, right? So that's where her insecurity comes in. You see what they both ask about. He's like, am I mediocre? I'm not really good, right? So it's in him being incapable in his career. What she asked about. That's how you know somebody's insecurities. What they asked the most about. She was, I'm part of this. I'm you don't thank me. You don't think I'm part of it. You don't think I'm connected to it. You don't think I'm worth anything. Value in connection to you. Valuable to you. So that's where her insecurities were, and where do insecurities start? You talk like this in here, right? This is the talk. Then you meet the person, and then y'all talk at each other. Then you unleash on each other. That's why I say a toxic relationship ain't nothing but a torture partner. You got a punishment partner. It's back and forth destruction. Because you are vomiting toxins on each other, thinking that person is your channel to get rid of it. You don't detox on top of nobody else. that's not the game. That's not how you get rid of it. That's how you worsen it. Because when you got a punishment partner now, when you're done unleashing on them and you want to go to sleep, it's their turn. And you getting fire breathed down your face in the middle. And that's why you can't get no sleep. I wanted to go to sleep for them. I was like, so can I, if I rest in real life, does that count as a nap for both of them? Because that's the longest night. The longest night. It's the longest night ever recorded. So that's why you lose out, because you can control how much toxins you spit on somebody else. But when you're single, you just go home, right? When you're single, you go outside, you spit toxins. You go to work, spit toxins at people. You go over here, go to a gathering, insult, argument, shut down this, go home. You go home. You can turn your phone off and go to sleep. That's done. When you're living with somebody and you just vomited toxins on them, it's a cycle. They're coming back. You've triggered them. They're coming back. They're coming back and you're done. You're done. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So let me see if I got anything else. I ain't even look at my damn notes. Let me look at them. Okay, yeah, last thing. This was fun, y'all. This was fun. Hope y'all got something from it. Shout out to Tay for the suggestion, man. This movie was fire. I'm gonna watch it again when I got time to look at people not sleeping. I'm trying to sleep tonight. But his dating history was interesting. His dating history was interesting. This part showed up for me when he was kind of giving her the intel on who the movie was really about and the multiple characters and the details of his exes who were incorporated in certain aspects of the film, things like that. First of all of the details, you saw the part, you know, it's a little bit OD, but again, they're trying to destroy each other in front of each other, like, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know what that is. But all of the types that he dated were interesting, right? And then you look at the elements within him. What would attract somebody to that? Well, he seems like somebody who, number one, wants the credit for building somebody up. You know, I could see ego moves there. Wanting, because again, he did it with the film, you know? He wanted the credit and the accolades for, you know, building a film from nothing, symbolically, and then building her from nothing. And then now I can say it. Whenever you get out of line, I can remind you. So that's the one up, right? A messed up ego needs to have the permanent one up. Let's look. When you go in and look for the permanent leg up over somebody, that means you're intimidated from the gate. That you're cheating from the gate. Why do you need that? Just in case of what? What do you need that for? Because that's an ace. And look at how he used it. When they got into their argument and everything was at its worst, she tried to come at him about something. He said, "You forgot. I think you forgot what I had in my back pocket. Or you forgot though." And then lay that all out. So, you know, again, they hurt each other. There's a lot of back and forth, but I like how it ended. I like how it ended, you know, because he caught it. When you saw him sitting up on the wall and she was going in, you know, thank you, just thank me for, and that's just, I respected that. And he was over here, and then you might, I ain't see it, but I saw it a little bit, and I said, yeah, you know, it's something that it had to come out like that to affect him, right? Now, if you're dating a narcissist, I wouldn't advise you to feel like that's going to work. But I do like that it was enough of a hit to seemingly cause an effect with him and start to hopefully, enlighten him on some of his ways. And it's not that people aren't changeable. You know what I'm saying? And they've sure exchanged a lot. If they change and get better, they earned it. This was the longest conversation and argument / sex scene / industry talk conversation / argument that it's never even if I'm right, I ain't gonna argue past that. I'm gonna be like, we've done enough here. Where's the bell? Ding. Where's the ref? Please. Yeah, he was about to lose it when he couldn't find her and stuff like that. And was some of y'all scared that she jumped off that cliff or what? I was like, y'all can't be doing this to me like that, man. There was twice where I thought it was over. I said, don't end it like that. You know who got me scared like that? When that damn movie Acrimony, she popped up on the boat and was shooting people. I was like, don't kill this brother here, man. He done worked. He done did 20 years to build this damn, what was it, a computer, a generator, so whatever he was doing, man. You done, and then you gonna kill him on his yacht. He made it on his own accord. He built his business, and you just gonna shoot him, and then you throw her in the water. She's flying back. She Ursula from Little Mermaid, flying back onto the boat, tentacles and guns and knives. I'm like, this ain't the baby boy actress I'm used to, man. Put her back in. She need to go back to damn Hustle and Flow somewhere with all of that. You're not invincible. So those surprise situations had me twisted up. I was like, don't end it like that. I didn't want it to end like that. I didn't want them to pull that Jack move and then what were we supposed to come from that? So I'm glad they kept it even. They allowed them to survive and go out and talk at the edge, but back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can go out and hold hands and look at the view a little bit back further behind the guidelines, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been in that type of mansion, but don't y'all, you can see the same stuff from the patio you was smoking on. So you move a little bit back up. Let's be together. Let's end this movie on the property, on the premises, and then have it happy. Everybody get happy. Nobody has to feel like, because I was like this. I was like, wait. Because the shot was dead far. They filmed it from my house. And so they were so small, and I was like, all it takes for them to just disappear from view. I don't do this. I don't see, and I'm gonna drag it right now. I don't see a hang glider, parachute, parasail, bungee cord, rappelling equipment. I don't see none of that. I don't see none of that. So, reunite, because it feels so good, and be great together. This is the moral of the story. It's not gonna make no sense, but I'm gonna drag it. Be together. Bring it together. Show love. Reconcile. Check your damn self sometimes. Be intimate. Be vulnerable. And be alive at your house, on your property, and if the mailman wouldn't be that far, you shouldn't be that far. It ain't about a view. Go upstairs and look down. Buy a guardrail or something. Please. So y'all have a great rest of the night. This movie was fire, man. I really enjoyed it. Everybody stayed alive and good. The arguments were out of control. I'm about to go argue with somebody right now. I'm about to argue. I'm gonna argue. Hold on. I'm gonna argue with you. You wanna argue?
What?
You wanna argue?
What does that mean?
You wanna talk a lot? You wanna talk all night?
Yes.
And I know you do. I said you want to talk all night. She said yes. I said you ain't never lied, man. Y'all. All right. Want to say good night? You want to say hi? You want to show the bear? Yeah. All right, y'all. You ain't gonna say nothing. See y'all tomorrow night. Now you're gonna be goofy and stinking.